Welcome to English Mastery Voyage channel.
The Hidden Blooms. There was a young woman named Emily who was fond of gardening. She took great care of her garden, tending to each plant with love and attention. Her garden was her sanctuary, a place where she found peace and joy. One day, while browsing through a gardening catalog, Emily discovered a unique plant that she had never seen before. The plant had an intriguing description, promising beautiful and vibrant flowers. Emily decided she wanted to plant it in her garden. Emily planted the new plant at the base of the stone wall that bordered her garden. She watered it regularly and made sure it received enough sunlight. The plant quickly grew, its vines spreading along the base of the wall. However, as weeks went by, no flowers bloomed on the plant. Emily was disappointed. She had hoped the plant would add a splash of color to her garden. Frustrated, Emily considered cutting down the plant. It seemed like a waste of space if it wasn't going to produce any flowers. Just as she was about to make the decision, her neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, called out to her from the other side of the wall. "Emily, thank you for planting such a beautiful plant," Mrs. Thompson exclaimed. "Flowers blooming on its vines are absolutely stunning. They bring so much joy to my garden." Surprised, Emily rushed over to Mrs. Thompson's garden. To her amazement, she saw that the vine had crept through the crevices of the stone wall, and the flowers had bloomed generously. On the other side, the vibrant blossoms were a sight to behold. Emily realized that even though she couldn't see the flowers from her side of the wall, they were still there, bringing beauty and happiness to someone else. She felt a sense of fulfillment, knowing that her efforts had not been in vain. From that day on, Emily continued to care for the plant, appreciating the hidden beauty it provided. She learned that sometimes the impact of our actions might not be immediately visible, but they can still bring joy and positivity to others. Emily's garden remained her sanctuary, and the plant at the base of the stone wall became a symbol of hope and perseverance. She nurtured it with the same love and attention she gave to all her plants, knowing that its flowers would continue to bloom and bring happiness even if she couldn't always see them. The Helpful Classmate. There was a young boy named Tom who was in first grade. One day, while sitting in class, Tom felt a sudden urge to use the bathroom. Unfortunately, he couldn't hold it in and ended up wetting his pants. Embarrassed and scared, he feared that his classmates would make fun of him as Tom sat at his desk. Trying to hide his wet pants, he noticed his teacher and a classmate named Lily walking towards him with a goldfish bowl. They were carrying the bowl carefully, making sure not to spill the water. Just as they reached Tom's desk, Lily tripped, and the goldfish bowl fell right into Tom's lap. Soaking his pants even more, the whole class turned to look at the commotion. Seeing the water all over Tom's pants, they assumed it was Lily's fault. "Lily, you spilled the water on Tom," they exclaimed. Tom felt a mix of relief and confusion. After class, Tom approached Lily. "Did you drop the fishball on purpose?" Askedely smiled gently and replied, "I wet my pants once too." Tom was touched by Lily's kindness and thoughtfulness. He realized that she had gone out of her way to protect him from humiliation. From that day on, Tom and Lily became good friends. Tom learned that true friends are those who stand by you in difficult times, and he was grateful to have found such a friend in Lily. When adversity knocks. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Anna who was frustrated with life. She faced many challenges and felt overwhelmed. Seeking guidance, she turned to her father for advice. Her father listened patiently to her concerns. After a moment of thought, he asked Anna to bring him an egg, tea leaves, and a potato. Curiously, Anna gathered the items and handed them to her father. He then filled 3 separate vessels with water and placed them on the stove. Once the water began to boil, he placed the egg in one vessel, the potato in another, and the tea leaves in the third. He let them boil for several minutes while Anna watched in silence. After a few minutes, I turned off the stove and asked Anna to peel the egg and the potato and to strain the tea leaves. Anna did as she was instructed. Her father then explained, "Anna, look closely at these items. The soft egg has become hard. The hard potato has become soft, and the tea leaves have changed the water itself." He continued, "When adversity comes our way, like the boiling water, we can respond in different ways. The egg, which was once soft, became hard. The potato, which was hard, became soft. The tea leaves, however, transformed the water around them. We have the power to choose our response to challenges. We can let them harden us, soften us, or we can transform the situation around us." Anna listened carefully to her father's words. She realized that she had the strength within her to face her challenges and transform them into opportunities. Filled with newfound hope and determination, Anna thanked her father for the valuable lesson. Molly's lesson. Molly was a young milkmaid whose job was to milk the cows and sell the milk at the market. Each day, she would carefully fill her pails with fresh milk and set off for the market to sell it. One morning, as she was walking to the market, she started to think about all the things she could buy with the money she would earn from selling the milk. As she walked, Molly spotted a chicken and an idea popped into her head. "If I buy a chicken, I can sell its eggs and make even more money," she thought excitedly. She began to dream about the many things she could purchase with the extra money from selling both milk and eggs. She imagined making the other milkmaids envious with all her new possessions. Lost in her daydreams, Molly's excitement grew, and she began to skip down the path. In her excitement, she forgot to be careful with her pails of milk. Suddenly, she stumbled, and the milk spilled all over the ground. Her pails were now empty, and she had nothing to sell at the market. Feeling disappointed and upset, Molly returned home with her empty pails. Her mother, noticing her distress, asked what had happened. Molly explained how she had been daydreaming. about all the things she could buy and had accidentally spilled the milk. Her mother gently reminded her, "Molly, you shouldn't count your chickens before they hatch. It's important to focus on what you have now and not get carried away with dreams of the future." Molly nodded, understanding the wisdom in her mother's words. She realized that it was important to stay focused and present rather than getting lost in fantasies. From that day on, Molly made sure to concentrate on her tasks and not let her imagination lead her astray.